Hello, welcome to the show. It is the Man and Market Show and I'm Charles Boji, your host. Now, the MTN Group seems to be having a fairly good run this year, that is 2025. We first reported that the company's fintech arm, that is MTN Momo, was able to move over $2 billion across 14 African countries, of course, stamping its position as a major player and enabler of financial transactions across territories on the African continent. Now, on top of that, we're again getting reports that MTN Group has been able to post a huge number on subscribers, that is over 300 million subscribers across the African continent. Now, this is making it the biggest telecom network on the continent. Now, we'll be visiting that story in our upcoming shows. Once again, it is Man and Markets. Welcome to the show. Now, many Ugandans are thinking of actually looking beyond the local market. Ugandans are entrepreneurial people, and those in business are looking at how they can enter the foreign markets to export or do business. Now, in this segment, we're picking the mind of one of the experts in the area of fresh vegetables. Remember, as a continent, one of our low-hanging fruits is in agriculture. To walk us through what is important before one even entertains the idea of selling goods and services across borders.
HortiFresh Association Uganda is a business membership organization that supports all value chain players in the fresh fruits, vegetables, spices, and herbs sector. We work with exporters, farmers, logistics providers, input dealers, and anybody who provides any service to enhance export for those value chains. A Ugandan exporter can maximize the current demand for our products in Uganda by knowing what the market wants. You must always start with the market. What standards are expected there? What requirements do they want? What products do they want? Then you work backwards to deliver the product that they want. The challenge that we have faced as Ugandans is we always start with what we grow best, which most times or sometimes the market doesn't necessarily want, so they pay low value for it. But if you start with the market, establish what they're asking for, then you work backwards and you grow exactly what they want. So a Ugandan businessman considering standards for their product, I would encourage them to know what the market wants. Again, each destination has its own standards. The common one that we in exports deal with are what we call voluntary market standards. And the common one is what they call global gap. It's the one that the European markets are adopting and are being adopted by all the other subsequent markets in the world. It always starts with knowing the cost, because you need to assess if it is worth the money to get that standard. The beauty about it is once you get them, they're complex, yes, but once you get them, then you have access to the high-end, high-value markets. So there is value for money for investing in standards. The biggest challenges affecting exporters in Uganda are two. One of them is the cost of logistics. The cold chain is not as advanced in Uganda. It is still very expensive, and that way it makes Ugandans not very competitive as compared to our neighbors. The cost of cargo, the cost of cold chain infrastructure, the cost of cold rooms, the pack houses are not yet very well furnished. So that is still one of the biggest cost drivers. The other is production. Our production is fragmented. The smallholders are not providing the volumes that the market is demanding, and therefore we need to invest very heavily in production so that we can sustain and maintain the markets that we have strived very hard to bring home. It is unfair to expect a farmer to manage cold chain. This is an investment that I would encourage the exporter to incur in collaboration with the farmer. Because the exporter is the businessman, is the one interfacing with the market, I would encourage that the exporter invests downstream so that the cold chain is closer to production. And as HortiFresh, we are working hard with our partners and with government to see that we bring aggregation centers closer to the market, to the farmer, so that when the farmers harvest collectively, the cold chain starts from the first mile, from near the production sites. The markets available for Ugandans are first of all regional. Our products are demanded very highly from our neighbors' places. The Kenyans take a lot of our product. DRC is a niche market. And Sudan, South Sudan, that is regional. So we have to promote Africa as well, business, inter-Africa business. The other market is actually Middle East and Europe, goes without saying. But the other international markets are more stringent, but the easier ones that you can start with are those that I've mentioned in the region and in the neighboring countries.
Now, as a beginning entrepreneur, you are one of your single biggest asset. I can put it differently. As a business person, woman or man, you are one of the most valuable factors of production for your business operation. And in this segment, we're exploring why this is the case and why you should take yourself seriously, build yourself as you prepare to join the business world.
The world is cruel. If there is anything that we are trying to deliver, giving this message to you using the way we did, it is to prepare you for what I call a cruel world. Nothing like saying, I deserve to be here. Cruel is the word. No fair competition. Where you are selling chicken, even Yuga Chicken is selling the same place. Then you wonder, surely can't you give a certain space for a beginner? There is no space for a beginner. Everybody is right in there doing their thing. And the customer is simply saying, I'm looking for value for money. Not my relative, not my uncle. I'm looking for value for money. Not my uncle's clinic. Zero. 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 But I want you to know that as you get extremely exposed, the ultimate weapon that's going to give you mileage is that person called you. The you are the ultimate resource in this turbulent game. The day you mess up with yourself, you've messed up with the most important resource. Guard your knowledge. But don't just guard it because it doesn't remain the same. Keep building it, keep sharpening it, keep expanding it, keep buttressing it, because it is delicately tough. I don't know whether I told you that 10 years from now, this Uganda we think we now own, you will struggle to put a foot in the marketplace. Today nobody can start a business in Uganda by just buying 10 bags of maize from Chigumba. Put it in the store for some 6 months. The price from 500, it is 1,500. You make money. That period is going to disappear. Because somebody somewhere is going to make it easier to buy up all that maize, and that price of 500 will not be there anymore. Right now, opportunities are here for the black fellow. But if the black fellow does not tap into the thing and build the muscle, the space is going. The space is going. And what will be happening is for you to transform yourselves from being landlords to being Bapakasi. The president put it in writing. He said, my people in Rwachitura, if they cannot begin to appreciate the benefit of infrastructure, they will be Bapakasi, not in Dubai. Where? In Rwachitura. Information seeking. If there be something where Africans are careless, that is an asset. But information without systematic planning and monitoring is incomplete. Systematic planning and monitoring. Monitoring simply means that I did something yesterday, have I checked on it again? Have I checked on it again? Have I checked on it again? Friends, you will leave this place, you are going to sweat out, you are going to progress, you will go back to these notes, they will still make sense. It's like a Bible, it's like a Quran.
I attended Enterprise Uganda, the program called Interpreteco. Yeah. I would advise everyone who would want to start business to start by acquiring the right skills, because sometimes when we think of business, we think that the most important thing is money. Actually, the most important thing is not money. The most important thing is the skill and knowledge. Like I always tell people, I didn't really have a lot of money when I started my pharmacy. When I attended the program, they told us to start with what you have. And the most important thing was to find out which problem you can solve. And me being a pharmacist, first of all, I had taken like almost 3 months, I'm not paid. But this program opened my mind that being a pharmacist was capital. So I ended up starting with the little I had. Myself was capital because I could be the pharmacist, I could be the dispenser and a cleaner. And also with the knowledge I acquired, that gave me the right to start, because they taught us that the only way to start was to start. There is no way you can practice business unless you start.
I started this program on the 13th, and what seemed like a simple journey of classes turned out to be a very practical session that I did not expect to be as life-changing as it is right now. In the 5 days that we have had, 6 days that we have had, we've realized that everything that the trainers were teaching us in the room have been very, very practical exercises, many of which that we actually did not know were serious issues that were making us lose business, turned out to be areas of perfection, and now we are all moving out as entrepreneurs that are going to change our economy. To the entrepreneurs outside there, many a times we feel we're making the money for our organizations, and we're making the money and we're achieving the targets that we have set. But from the training that I have actually had in these 6 days, I have noticed that there are many errors that we make when we try to run the businesses ourselves without involving the experts that should be directing our businesses to the right direction.